The McLeod RXT that we have here today is going to be one of the most capable yet most streetable clutches available on the site, capable of holding upwards of 1,000 horsepower in your manual 2018 through 2023 Mustang GT. Now this particular combination does include the twin disc ceramic line disc RXT clutch kit along with the matching McLeod aluminum flywheel, and can be had for right around that $1,600 to $1,700 price point. So if you guys didn't know, McLeod does offer a wide variety of clutch kits here on the site, ranging from a factory equivalent all the way down the line to some of the big boys, including the clutch that we're looking at here today, which is the twin disc RXT. Again, capable of holding upwards of 1,000 horsepower at the crank, and one that just so happens to be paired up here with the aluminum flywheel. Now the flywheel is a nice little bonus. It's a ready to install package right out of the box. Kind of takes some of the guesswork out of matching a clutch with a flywheel on your own. And again, this is going to be a very lightweight option for the Mustang owners out there looking for all-out performance. That lightweight flywheel helps the car pull through the revs a bit quicker and is just a rock-solid combination. That being said, they do offer other materials for your flywheel, so never a bad idea to maybe consult with your tuner first, get their opinion on what might be the best setup for you and your application. But getting back to some of the features here with the RXT and twin disc clutches in general, and if you didn't know, these are just a wonderful thing because you're getting unparalleled or unmatched holding capabilities thanks to the increased surface area of not one but two friction discs, at least with this clutch, sometimes even more with other clutches out there. And despite that insane amount of power these things can hold, the pedal feel is really soft. In fact, I would say very similar to stock in regards to engagement, maybe slightly firmer, but really not crazy at all. On top of that, twin disc clutches also tend to cool off a bit faster between runs when compared to a burly single disc, which is great because let's face it, heat is the enemy of performance no matter what, especially when we're talking clutches here, because once you get a clutch hot, it glazes over, and at that time, it's not going to be a good time for anyone. Now, I do want to say that the engagement of the RXT will be a bit more aggressive here compared to the RST, and that is due largely in part to the more aggressive material with the RXT compared to the organic material found in the RST. So just keep that in mind, guys. We'll talk more about that here in a second. There's not a whole lot of cons really to talk about with a twin disc clutch. Yes, they are going to be a bit more expensive at the end of the day, but you know, you got to pay to play when we're talking high horsepower clutch applications. And on top of that, they can be a bit noisier than just a standard single disc clutch. But honestly, I had a twin disc in my Mustang for a while, no complaints whatsoever. And if you have a louder exhaust system in the car already, chances are you probably won't even hear the clutch at all. Moving into construction and build and specifics rather with the 23 spline RXT. Again, we've talked about it a lot. I'm going to mention it a few more times here. The twin discs are comprised of that ceramic line friction material. In this case, it is going to be separated by the floater plate. You got the pressure plate right on top here in that signature McLeod red. Backside, you're looking at the aluminum flywheel. Now the RXT, talking about those more aggressive friction discs here, guys, I'll be honest with you, it can be a bit harder on the factory MT82 transmission when compared to the RST and its organic friction disc material. So my advice to you guys, if you don't absolutely need the RXT and its 1,000 horsepower crank requirements, then I might steer you more towards that RST just to keep that trans happy. Now, if you've already built up the factory MT82 through the aftermarket, stronger gear set, whatever, then this really won't be a concern for you. Now, I do want to talk about the flywheel a little bit more, guys. This is an SFI certified option made from 6061 T6 aluminum. It does feature that 164 tooth design, and it has a replaceable steel ring gear if you should ever damage this one. Now, I do also want to mention here in this case that the clutch is backed by a 90-day limited warranty, which is nice. So if you get this thing installed, make sure there's no issues and make sure you're good to go. Moving into price point, guys, and the RXT is going to come in right around that $1,600 to $1,700 price point, give or take. Certainly not going to be very cheap, but at the same time, it's not nearly as expensive as other high horsepower clutch options on the site. from companies like X-Clutch or Mantic, for instance. Those clutches will cost a lot more at the end of the day, but at the same time, they're also gonna hold more power. So this is one of those areas where your amount of power that you need to put down to the ground will ultimately determine how much you need to spend. And in this case, you have to pay to play, right? I've said that before, I'll say it again. So this is a great option. I would say relatively affordable when compared to some of your other similar options on the site when we're talking about 1,000 crank. So definitely consider some other options if you want to just get a feel for the category. But the McLeod, tried and true, tested. I've had one in my car, I love it. And this is really a great option. This is obviously not a job for first-time renters out there. So if you don't have access to a lift or a solid set of tools, you might want to leave this one up to your local shop instead. Now, this particular job, we're calling a 3 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, at least 4 hours to complete from start to finish, maybe a little bit more if this is your first time tackling something like this. It's not a terribly difficult job. There's just a lot of steps involved in addition to obviously dropping that transmission. So again, if you're not confident with this type of work, you don't have access to a garage or a tool set to maybe tackle this type of thing, definitely reach out to your local shop instead. So wrapping things up here, guys, again, if you are looking for a proven clutch for a high horsepower application that will maintain great pedal feel and drivability, you definitely have to consider the RXT clutch and flywheel combination, available right here at AmericanMuscle.com.